Here live. Hope everybody's having a great new week, great Monday thus far. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. And you know what's great, that both the Facebook and Instagram lives came on immediately with no delay. So as everybody's coming in, tell me your name and location in the comment section. If you're checking in on Instagram, if you're on Facebook, hit that share button. Waiting for Facebook to populate, waiting for Instagram to populate. Tell me your name and location in the comment section as y'all come in. Y'all know what it is. If you don't know what it is, I'm going to tell you what it is. If you don't know how this goes, I'm going to tell you how it goes. And then when you watch, I'm going to do exactly what I said I was going to do. So as y'all come in, tell me your name and location in the comment section. And we getting started in less than 60 seconds. So we're going to get started in less than 60 seconds. I ain't giving people too much time today. We're going straight to it. Brandon from Pensacola, you got the first comment. Congrats to you. Matt from Philly with the second comment. Say you've been watching me for years. I appreciate you, Matt. I'm glad you're still here. I'm glad you're still around. So listen, what we talking about today, y'all see it in the pinned comment here on Instagram, Facebook. If you're watching this on replay, if you're watching it now, if you're working and not saying nothing, hit that share button. Share this live to your timeline. As y'all come in, tell me your name and location in the comment section. We got Rush 2 Doshi checking in from Boston. Shout out to Boston. Shout out to the made men. As y'all checking in, name and location in the comment section. I'm gonna introduce myself in a moment. I'm gonna give it like 30 seconds, then we getting started. I think we'd be taking too much time waiting for people to come in here. Y'all know my motto. If you don't know, I'm gonna tell you. To be early is to be on time. To be on time is to be late, and to be late is to be forgotten. We don't even notice that you were late because we forgot all about you. So we getting started in like 10 seconds. I'm gonna introduce myself first. Then I'm gonna introduce the topic. Then I'm gonna give some background on the topic. Then I'm gonna give you my points. Then I'm going to recap the points. Then I'm going to tell you about these two publications that are sitting in front of me, what they are, why they're here, and how you can get them. Then I'm going to answer any and all questions in the comment section that are related to today's topic. That's how it's going to go. I just laid out the whole agenda for you. So my name, for those who don't know me, even if you do, I'm going to reintroduce myself. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, former 9-year professional athlete, author of 25 books. Book number 26 is right there in front of me. I didn't even get to do what I need to do with that today because I was doing other things. I was recording all day today, but I still got my voice, as you can see. I've done 4 TED Talks. I'm an Uber publisher of content. I'm a coach, consultant, speaker, content creator, as I just said, producer, product creator. I do a whole lot of things. I ain't got to explain it all out to you here today because you here to get this live stream. I do this live streaming thing. I publish over 1,000 of these live streams. I published over 7,000 YouTube videos, 7,000 articles, and those are not exaggerations. I have actually published that many videos, that many articles. And what I do, what this whole thing is about, everything that I do is all under the umbrella of this whole philosophy, this brand, this framework that I created that is called Work on Your Game. It's taking a pro athlete mindset, the mindset that you need to be in the top 1% of what you do for a living, which is what you are when you're a professional athlete, and applying that mindset to your business, to your sport, and to your life. And I'm not just talking about what I watched somebody else do or what I studied from a library. I'm talking about what I actually did and how you can apply it. So I'm giving you real life, hands-on experience in everything that I'm talking about. Not what somebody else did, not what one of my clients did, not what somebody I studied did, what I did. And I'm going to tell you how you can do the same thing mentally in your game, and it doesn't have to be sports. Now, what we're talking about here today, today's topic is everybody ain't going to make it. All right, not everybody's going to make it. I shortened it up and changed the wording just to make sure it fit in that comment down there on IG. But the topic is everybody ain't going to make it, okay? And this is a harsh reality of life that everybody's going to need to accept. Maybe some of you, if you've seen enough of life, you have witnessed it on your own, that everybody's not going to make it, that some people might have skill, some people might have resources, some people might have opportunities laid out in front of them, and they still aren't able to make it, and you're wondering, what stopped this person from making it? Why did this person not make it? Why is this person coming up short? Why did that person fail? I'm going to tell you today why everybody's not going to make it, despite the fact that everybody may have opportunity, or whoever you consider everybody has skill, talent, opportunity, knowing things could be working in their favor. They're still not going to make it. This topic here today, this is just a harsh reality of life. It's a harsh reality of business. And life is a business. It's a harsh reality of every game that you could possibly be involved in, that everybody who is supposed to make it, quote unquote, ain't gonna make it. Okay? Now, thinking about my background in sports definitely contributed to this topic, simply because in sports, it's a finite game. It's impossible for everybody to make it because there are not enough jobs for everybody to get in. In sports, you got a roster. In football, it's a 53-man roster. Then you got the injured reserve. Then you got the practice squad. And then you multiply that by how many teams it is. And that's it. Nobody else can get in. When it's full, it's full. And the NBA is the same thing. In soccer, I'm sure they got the same thing. Baseball, same thing. There's a limit to how many people can get in. Even if there are 1,000 good people and only 800 jobs, then 200 people ain't getting in. All right, 200 people that quote-unquote deserve to be in ain't getting in the game. That's the topic here today. I'm going to give you some harsh reality of life, and I'm going to tell you what to do with this reality to make it work in your favor instead of working against you. So I'm going to give it all to you. That's what I do here. Point number one is this. The topic, again, is everybody ain't going to make it. Number one, in order to make it, whatever you consider that to mean, making it and what you do, you need skill, you're going to need timing, you're going to need connections, you're going to need luck, and you're going to need all those things. And you're going to need a whole bunch of other things. I talked about this in my Hard Work Ain't Enough masterclass, which you can access at hardworkaintenough.com. Yes, that is the website, hardworkaintenough.com. That's a free masterclass. It's an hour-and-a-half masterclass that I put together to teach you all the things that you need to combine with your hard work in order to be successful. Again, that's hardworkaintenough.com. I should have put that in the comment section. But anyway, you can have all of that going for you in life, and guess what? You can still fail. You can still come up short, even though you are at the right time, in the right place, doing the right thing, and you got all the skills, and you know the right people. You can still come up short. That's just the way that it is. And I want you to understand that any game that you get in, anything you decide to do in life, these are the terms of the game. That this is just the way that it goes. You might end up coming up short, even though you did everything right, even though you had all the right stuff in place, even though you followed the exact script of somebody else who succeeded and they told you this is a script to follow. These are the terms of the game. So my question to you, after I've given you the terms of the game here, is are you in or you out? Knowing that you might still come up short. I had somebody email me earlier today. He was saying, you know, I'm trying to find my motivation for going after my dream of playing professional basketball, but the fact is he understands there are no guarantees in the game. So how can I, he was asking me, Dre, how can I move myself to take action even though I know there are no guarantees in the game? How can I really motivate myself to go after this basketball dream? And I said to the gentleman, I said, it ain't about motivating yourself, because if you need to motivate yourself to do it, you probably shouldn't be doing it. And the fact of the matter is, just to keep it real with him, as I do with anybody who asks me a question, if you don't motivate yourself and then you decide you don't want to go towards it because there are no guarantees and you got to take a risk, listen, there are 1,000 people waiting to take your spot. So the game will not miss you. Okay, so if you decide you don't want to get in this game, you decide you don't want to put that time in, you decide you don't want to put that work in, you decide you don't want to take the risk, if you consider that to be risk, is perfectly fine. The game will not miss you. Won't even notice that you weren't there. All right, I hardly knew you in the first place. Somebody else will gladly and easily and quickly step up and take your spot, and it will be like you were never there in the first place. You might as well not have been. All right, the game does not care. Okay, the game does not love you. The game does not hate you. The game is completely neutral. Okay, the rules of the game are the same for everybody. Some people are able to work those rules and make it work for them. Some people try to work the rules and they don't work. Some people look at the rules and say, I don't even want to be in the game, and they go do something else. All completely fine. The game is still going to be the game whether you're here or you're not. Whether you're in or you're out, the game does not change. So what you need to ask yourself is, knowing the rules of the game here, what are you going to do with it? Are you willing to be in the game? Or do you accept that this is the way the game goes and you're going to play it, knowing that this is the way the game is, knowing that you might not get your outcome even if you do everything right, even if you're in the right place at the right time, even if you get lucky? It could be bad luck. I mean, luck doesn't just mean good luck. It could mean bad luck. Even if you know the right people, even if you feel like you got all the skills, you could still come up short. After all that investment that you made, you could still fail. Are you still willing to step into the game? Are you still willing to give it a shot? If the answer is yes, then step forward. If the answer is no, or you got to think about it, listen, every second you're thinking about it, 1,000 more people are jumping in front of you in the line. This is just what the game is. Okay? Don't get mad at me. Be mad at the game. But don't be mad at the game because the game is neutral. Point number 2. The topic for anybody who came in the middle of what I'm talking about here. The topic today is not everybody is going to make it. No matter how good you are, no matter how dedicated you are, no matter how much you think somebody else deserves it, everybody ain't making it. Okay? Point number 2. The world is a world of abundance. I've talked about this before. All right, the mindset that you should carry throughout your days is a mindset of abundance, meaning whatever it is you use up, there's more where that came from. Except for time, whatever you use is more where that came from. If you spend money, you can make more money. All right, you use up your energy, go to sleep, wake up tomorrow morning, you'll have more energy. All right, use some of your brain power trying to make a tough decision, you can get some more brain power back somehow, some way. Share some of your knowledge. You can get knowledge back from somebody else. Give energy to somebody, you're going to get energy back. All right, do some hard work, Somebody's going to do some hard work for you. That hard work hopefully will pay off for you. Anything that you put out there, there's more where that came from. Is a mindset of abundance. We do not live in a world of scarcity. We live in a world of abundance. There's plenty of damn near everything. Except for time, there's plenty of everything. I mean, the government just printed out, gave everybody a $1,200 check. How much money was that you added up for everyone they sent that out to? There's billions of dollars. Where'd that money come from? It's not gold. It's just money that they printed up. They just went to the printer, pressed the button, and they just start putting out checks to people. That's all they did. There's plenty of money out there and everything else. People had this big emotional connection to money, so that's why I'm mentioning money. But I want you to understand that even though we live in a world of abundance, that does not mean that everybody gets to do the same thing. That doesn't mean there's an abundance of jobs in the sports world. Doesn't mean there's an abundance of people who should be writing books. Doesn't mean there's an abundance of people who should be trying to become a thought leader or an online influencer. Doesn't mean everybody should be doing the same thing, even though there's abundance out here. Just because you see a bunch of people doing something does not mean you should be doing it. Just because a bunch of people are involved in something does not mean you need to get involved. It might mean you can admire them. You can look at them and say, that's cool what they're doing. I appreciate it. I admire it. But it doesn't mean you need to jump in that pool. All right. There are some pools that you should just walk by, admire who you see in the pool, wave to them, and you should keep walking. And there are some pools that you should jump in and immerse yourself. But you can't jump in every pool that you see. You can't jump in every pool all the time. All right, you got to decide which pool am I going to jump into. Even though the world is abundant, doesn't mean you can do it all at the same time. Human beings have a limitation, is that we can only be in one physical place at a time. We can only focus on one thing at a time. And we can only do one thing really, really well at a time. Nobody can do two things really, really well at the same time. No matter how talented they are, no matter how many opportunities and breaks that they have going in their favor, nobody can do two things really, really well at the same time. Okay, you want to be a basketball player, be a basketball player. You want to be a football player, you want to be a rapper, you want to be an author, you want to be a school teacher, be that thing. All right, even though you could do 1,000 things at once, you're not going to be good at any of them. Okay, you try to do more than one thing at once, you're not going to be your best at either of those things. I don't care how talented you are. And I want y'all to understand, even though it's a world of abundance, everybody shouldn't be doing the same thing. We got to spread that abundance out. Okay, spreading the abundance out means it's going to get spread out whether you want it to or not. And not everyone who's at the current level with you is going to be at the next level with you. Those of you who are on your way to the next level are the people who are next to you, to the left and to the right of you right now. They ain't going to be there at the next level. Or maybe somebody that's to the left or right of you, they're going to the next level and you ain't going to be there. You're not going to make it with them. Simply because this is just the way the world works. It's a natural selection of the world, survival of the fittest, the strong rule the weak. And every level you move up, somebody got to get filtered out. That's just the way the game goes. And that's why I'm explaining to you, everybody ain't going to make it. No matter how good, talented, positive-minded you are, no matter how much you claim you want to make it and how hard you think you're going to work in order to make it happen, none of those things is going to make it happen for you when the numbers game comes into play. All right, because everybody can't possibly make it. I'm going to keep saying that over and over again. Point number 3. Topic here today, for those who came in the middle of this, not everybody is going to make it. No matter how talented, how skilled, how whatever way you want to describe yourself, everybody ain't going to make it. Point number 3, this understanding requires that you make some selfish decisions. Since you know everybody ain't going to make it, you got to get selfish on some level with yourself. And what that means is this. The definition of selfish is chiefly concerned with one's own personal profit. Chiefly concerned with your own personal profit. That's what it means to be selfish, which means you're going to have to make some choices at some points in your life that are more about you than they are about anyone else. If you never heard anyone say this, I'll say it here today. Success is selfish. Success, for somebody to become successful, you have to be selfish. Meaning, you got to put your own needs in front of the needs of other people at many points along the way. There are many times where you're going to have to prioritize yourself over prioritizing other people. You're going to have to say, you know what, I could do this and it will help out a whole bunch of people, but if I do this, it'll help me a whole lot more. There are times you're going to have to make that decision. You can't go through your whole life sacrificing all of your success just trying to help other people get success. I mean, you could do it, but you're probably not going to get to your highest level if you're doing that all the time. You're going to have to make some tough decisions. They're going to be tough choices. If you happen to be a giving, kind, helpful person and you like to see other people win, There are times in life you're going to have to make a decision that says, I'm gonna prioritize me right now instead of prioritizing them. Instead of helping them out, I gotta do what works for me. And if they can't get it done without me, then that ain't my fault. It ain't my business. They still got to take care of themselves. You are not responsible for someone else's success. You are most responsible for your own success. And through your own success, you can help other people become successful. But you can't put other people's success before you put your own success, because if you don't have anything, then you don't have anything to give. If you have not achieved success yourself, it's really hard to help other people get the success, because you have no idea how to get there. You have no idea how it's done if you've never done it on your own. So this is why you always have to prioritize, not always, but many times, let's say, you're going to have to prioritize your own success in life. And if you don't do it, I guarantee you there will be times that other people will also, they're going to prioritize their success over helping you out, because they got to look out for number one, which is them. Number one to each one of us is ourselves. And if you don't prioritize your own success and instead give your resources to someone else to help them succeed, when it's their turn that they could possibly do that for you, do not feel bad and do not be surprised if they decline to do so. Why? Because of what I just told you. Success is selfish, ladies and gentlemen. Success, for you to get to your highest level of success, you got to focus on you. You got to prioritize you. You got to do what works best for you at many points along this journey that you're on, called life, called your career, called your business. And if you don't do it, nobody else is going to do it too. Nobody else is going to sacrifice their success to help you. Why? Because they understand what I'm saying here. All right, it's a cold world out here. It's cutthroat like that. That you might sacrifice yours to help somebody, and when it's their turn and you think they're going to sacrifice theirs to help you, they're not going to. Why? Because you should never sacrifice yours in the first place. Not because they're bad, it's because you made the mistake. You should have never put yourself in that position in the first place. Now that I'm telling you, you don't have to make that mistake. Point number 4. Today's topic is, not everybody is going to make it. For those who came in the middle of this, here's the point that you need to get. I've kind of said this without saying it in so many words. I'm going to say it in the exact words here. Point number 4 is rough out this bitch. It is rough out here. It is not always going to be easy. Things are not always going to work in your favor. Sometimes it's going to be a sink or swim situation. Either you do something and make something happen so you can keep your journey going, or you're going to get your proverbial throat slice. Hopefully not literally. Your proverbial throat slice and the game's going to be over. All right, y'all watch the National Geographic when the lions are hunting down the buffalo or the wildebeest or what's the other ones? The gazelles. What happens to the gazelle that doesn't prioritize itself and it tries to stay back and help one of his friends out? All right, they both get killed. All right, they both die. So at some point, you're going to have to understand that it's dog eat dog out here, or lion eat gazelle. And when you see those lions coming, you can try to help everybody out and be a hero, but you can get yourself killed trying to be a hero. Sometimes you just got to protect yourself, which means run away so you can live to fight another day. So you can live to run another day. Because if you get caught by one of them lions, game over. So it is rough out this bitch in that other people are going to use you sometimes as a stepping stone. There are going to be times in your life when you think somebody could do something to help you out, but instead of doing something to help you out, what they're going to do is something to help themselves out. And if that happens to inconvenience you, or happens to disappoint you, or happens to not be what you thought they should do, so be it. All right, they're going to do what they got to do. Why? Because they don't have to live your life. They got to live their life. Eyeball 2424 was good. They don't have to live with whatever happens to you. They got to live with what happens to them. So if they're not prioritizing them, they got to live with the result of not prioritizing themselves. And you got to live with the result of not prioritizing yourself. So keep in mind, no matter what you do, where you go, how you're doing it, that the game is not against you. The game is not for you. The game is completely neutral. What I'm sharing here with you today are the rules of the game. And if you act like you don't know the rules of the game, or you forget these rules of the game, or you go out and you make decisions to go against the rules of the game, listen, the game is going to punish you. Not because the game is against you, not because the game is a hater, but because the game is the game. All right, it ain't changing. So don't act like you don't know what the game is now that I'm giving you this game right here today. Everybody's not going to make it. Again, not because there are not enough talented people or not enough skilled people or people with positive ambitions and they got the right idea as to what they want to do. There are more than enough people who have all of those things. The problem is there's only so much there is. There's only so much opportunity out there for people to take advantage of. And if you don't prioritize you, somebody's going to prioritize themselves, step right over top of you, and they're going to take your spot. And they might not even be as good as you. They might not have even worked as hard as you. They might not be as dedicated as you, but they're going to take your spot. Why? It's a cold world out this bitch. And people will use you if you allow them to. You will reach a level sometimes in your life. At some point in your life. Not sometimes, but at some point in your life, career, journey, etc. You're going to reach a point where people are ruthless with you. Meaning having no compassion for you, not worrying about your well-being, not worrying about your success, but only worrying about their own. Not because people are nasty, not because people are negative, not because people are haters and they want to see you lose. That's not the reason why people are going to be ruthless with using you and taking advantage of you and going over the top of you. The reason why people are going to be like that, because that's the way they're going to have to be in order to win. In order to win, sometimes somebody got to lose. In order for you to win, somebody might have to lose. In order for you to get that customer, somebody has to not get that customer. In order for you to get to where you want to go, somebody got to come up short and go where they want to go. You got to be willing to accept that, and you got to be willing to work with that, and you got to be willing to execute on it and use somebody else the same way somebody else would use you. This is just the game, people. Again, the game isn't mad at you. The game isn't hating on you. The game isn't trying to set you up to fail. It's just the game. All right. You need to learn to tap into your own personal killer instinct in the world to allow yourself to survive and put yourself in a position to win. If you don't do that, then somebody else is going to tap into their killer instinct and they're going to take care of you. Again, if you're the wildebeest running out in the safari in Africa and you try to help other people out, you try to help the other wildebeest, the weak wildebeest out, when the lions start coming, all right, they're going to kill them and they're going to kill you while you're trying to help somebody out. What you should have did was run and let them die on their own, because they would have died anyway. Nothing you could have did to stop those lions from doing what they do. Because if it was, you wouldn't be running from the lion in the first place. You understand what I'm saying? So understand that this game being as cold as it is, all right, if you don't heat up and do what you got to do to help yourself, the game is going to eat you alive, and you become a statistic rather than a story. That's something that I talked about in this book right here, Working the Game. Do you want to be a story or you want to be a statistic? The statistics are the people who don't understand the rules of the game. They think the game is one way, then they realize when it's too late that the game is the other way. They become part of the statistics. These are the 90% of businesses that fail, or the 99% of athletes who don't become pro, or the whatever percentage or whatever who comes up short. All right, you want to be one of the statistics, just a number, then all you got to do is act like you don't know the rules of the game, because I just laid it out for you. If you want to be able to tell your story, then you got to play the game as the game is set up. Play the game by the rules that you know are the rules of the game, even if you may think they're ruthless, kind of Machiavellian, kind of selfish, kind of, giving value and rewarding the people who are just more selfish and more thinking about themselves. Even if you feel that way, you can feel however you want. You can think whatever you want. You can even say whatever you want, but make sure you play the game according to the rules that you know. If you don't like that the rule of basketball is you can only take 2 steps before you shoot, then you can hate that rule, but don't go out there and take 3 steps, because then they're going to call traveling and you ain't going to score any points. You're going to make your team lose. Okay, so you can hate the game all you want. You can hate the rules. You can hate the way it's set up. You can hate the people playing the game, but just play the game right, because the game will play you if you don't play it. All right, that's what it is. Everybody got that? Now, let me recap these points. The topic here today is not everybody is going to make it. There's a harsh reality of the games that we play in the businesses that we are in life. Now, thinking about this just from the athletic background, where there is literally a limit to how many people can make it, this also applies in the world, because even though anybody can technically become an entrepreneur or a lawyer or a doctor or start a business or get on Facebook or Instagram, anybody literally could. Everybody could do it. Everybody's not going to be successful at it simply because of the reasons that I'm sharing here today. Point number 1, you need game, timing, connections, and luck to succeed, and a whole bunch of other things, which I talked about in my Hard Work Ain't Enough masterclass. You can get that at hardworkaintenough.com. That's a free masterclass, 94-minute class. You can still fail, and these are just the terms of the game. So you have to decide if you're in or you're out. Do you want to play this game knowing that even though you might do everything right, you can still lose? You got to decide. Point number 2. The world is a world of abundance. However, that doesn't mean everybody's going to do the same thing. Doesn't mean everybody's going to become successful, even though there's plenty of success to go around. Not everybody who is with you today is going to be with you when you get to the next level. And you might be the person who one of your friends or one of your associates goes to the next level, and you're the one that got left behind. But understand, both of you need to be prioritizing yourselves and not the other guy, because that's the only way you're going to get to your highest possible level, is by prioritizing you. Point number 3. Right along those lines, this requires you to be selfish. Success is selfish. Definition of selfish: concerned chiefly with one's own personal profit. You got to become that. You got to be chiefly concerned with your own personal profit in order to get to the maximum level of your potential. You want to reach the ceiling of your potential, you got to be selfish. Now, if you want to help other people out and you want to give to other people and you don't like being selfish and just thinking about you, that's fine. You can do whatever you want to do. But understand, if you want to get to the maximum of what you can do, then you will have to be selfish. You must prioritize your own personal profit. Okay? That's the only way you're going to get to the highest possible level for you. And when you prioritize yourself enough, here's what happens. You become good enough that now you have something that you can give to other people. If I prioritize me and I build my own game up, all right, now I got enough game that I can give some game back to other people. But if I'm never prioritize me to get the most out of me, then how will I ever be able to give to you? If you don't have anything, you can't give. Y'all got it? If you don't have anything, you cannot give. And you won't have anything if you don't prioritize yourself at some point, or points, plural, with the S on the end, in your life, in your career, on your journey, in your business. And point number 4. Why is all this true? Everything that I'm saying here today, because it's rough out here. All right, it's a rough game. It's a rough world. It's a cold world. And it can get ugly quick for people who don't know the rules. If you don't understand how the game works, you don't understand that you got to prioritize yourself. You don't understand that other people will use you and step over top of you and slip around you if you move too slow, or if you're not ready to go, or you don't take advantage of the opportunity in front of you. Other people will come snatch that opportunity right off your plate while you're thinking about what to do with it. That is the way the world works. That's the way the game works. And you can act like you don't like it. You can act like you don't know. You can ignore everything that I said here today. But when the game takes from you, and when the game uses you and spits you out and you don't even know what happened, don't say that nobody ever informed you how this game goes. Now, with that being said, anybody who has a question on the subject that I talked about here today, you can go ahead and post it. I'm not sure I saw any questions. But I'm going to tell you about these 2 books that I got here in front of me, these 2 free books that I got here in front of me. If you don't know about them, you're going to know in a minute. And if you do know about them, I'm going to tell you about them again until you get them, until you claim your free copies. This book right here is called The Mirror of Motivation. It is, the subtitle is The Self-Guide to Self-Discipline. I wrote this book for the person out there right now who knows that there's a person within you that you truly need to be, but for whatever reason, you haven't pulled that person out of you yet. You haven't really started being the person you truly need to be. Therefore, you are not doing what you need to do with the right type of energy. And because of that, I know for a fact you don't have the results that you want to have. So if you would like to start being the person you really want to be, not you would like it, you need to be the person you really want to be. So you can do what you need to do and get the results that you want to get, so you can have a different life from most of the people out here who are just floating by, drifting with no purpose. Get this book by going to mirrorofmotivation.com. As I said, the book is paid for. The book is free. All you do is take care of the shipping. You get this at mirrorofmotivation.com. I heard Chaz Bose say he already got this book, or the book is on the way. That's what's up. This book right here is the Overseas Basketball Blueprint. I wrote this book for anyone who wants to play professional basketball overseas, meaning even if you came from a small school, maybe you didn't play ball in school at all, but you feel like you have the talent, you want to take your shot at pro ball, maybe you have no agent, you have no connection, you have no idea how to even start or what to do when it comes to basketball, but you want to play professionally, get this book right here, because I'm going to give you the blueprint of everything you need to know, and then the actions you need to take, and the things that you should not do. I'm going to make sure you avoid the pitfalls that will cost you time and money and maybe cost you your whole career in this book right here called the Overseas Basketball Blueprint. This book is specifically for people who want to play professional basketball, traveling the world, getting paid to play ball, and all you got to do is show up to a gym and play ball for 2 to 3 hours a day. This is the best job in the world, being a professional basketball player. Get this book. It's already paid for at balloverseas.com. Balloverseas.com for this one. Mirrorofmotivation.com for this one. Now let me see if we got any questions. I'm not sure we got any questions, but if anybody got a question, go ahead and post it while I'm scrolling through right here. And if I catch it, then I will address the question. Make sure it's a good question. Keep it short. Let's see. Brandon said, well, I say Drake isn't as great at rapping as singing, since you can't be great at more than one thing. Well, Drake is a musician. I would say that he's a musician. So what he does, he raps and sings. R. Kelly did some rapping and singing. Nicki Minaj does rapping and singing. Who else was it? There's a few people. Rihanna does a little bit of rapping and singing. So that's not the same thing. It's not a parallel, what I'm saying. A parallel would be like Damian Lillard rapping. He's a basketball player. Making music is making music. When Drake makes music, he opens his mouth and sounds come out. All right, some of it's singing, some of it's rapping, but it's music. So they're the same thing in my opinion. Again, a difference would be like Shaq making an album and he didn't win a championship until he stopped rapping. Coffee to Gray says, how do you know you didn't make it even though you haven't quit trying? I'm not quite sure what you're saying. How do you know you didn't make it even though you haven't quit trying? You got to reword that question. So anybody else got a question? I'm going to give y'all like 30 seconds to ask that question. I'm going to tell you about these books one more time for everybody who's watching. MirrorOfMotivation.com. The book is paid for. The self-guide, the self-discipline, so you can start being the person you truly need to be, which will change the energy of your actions, which means you're going to get completely different results, which is going to change the trajectory of your life as compared to most of the people out here who are just floating by, drifting by through life. MirrorOfMotivation.com. This book right here is an overseas basketball blueprint for people who want to play professional basketball overseas, travel the world, and get paid to play a game for 2 to 3 hours a day. That's pretty much your whole job. Balloverseas.com. You got to have some talent to do this, but you got game, you got talent, and you want to take your shot, go to balloverseas.com. And I got a free 94-minute masterclass called Hard Work Ain't Enough. If you think hard work is the key to success, because I talk about working on your game, work is key. Work is important, but it's not the key to success. There are 8 other elements, eight other elements you need besides hard work to reach success. There's a free masterclass at hardworkaintenough.com. I'll start putting that in the pinned comment. I forgot to do it today. Well, I thought about it, but I didn't do it. But I'll do it in the future if I remember. So everybody, we're going to wrap it up on that note. Thank you for everyone's attention. Thank you for the questions. A couple people who asked. If you got both of these books already, the next book you need to get is Work on Your Game. Use the pro athlete mindset to dominate your game in business, sports, and life. This book is not free. However, you're going to get some bonuses when you get it from us at workonyourgamebook.com that you will not get anywhere else. You cannot get these bonuses on Amazon. You can't get them on iBooks. You can't get them on name any other place. You only get these bonuses by going to workonyourgamebook.com. Order your free hardcover copy of this book, and you get some bonuses that are worth a couple $1,000s that you cannot get anywhere else. Workonyourgamebook.com. Y'all know about the free books. I'm doing a live every day, 5:15 p.m. Eastern, if you didn't know, so turn on your notifications, follow me, tell somebody, put it in your calendar. Every day, 5:15 p.m. Eastern, we are doing a live. Work on your game. Dre all day. We out of here.